Skyzone.Society.
Yo, what's going on, my people out there in the zone land? You know what you tune into. If not, you tune into the Zone Sports Podcast. On behalf of your host, your boy Big V Sky Zone, you know what I mean? I'm here with my guy, you know what I mean? For my people that can see on the YouTube and for my people that can hear on the SoundCloud, you know what I mean? What's going on, my G?
What's up, man? It's your boy Corey, aka Cool C, aka COO. What in the hell? We're gonna get to all the what in the hells later, but what in the hell? Go ahead and get your plug on, brother. We got to get busy. I'm mad.
Okay. You already know, man, who the podcast brought to you by. If not, it's brought to you by my brand, Skyzone.Society. Make sure you're shopping at Skyzone.Society.bigcartel.com. Go get your tees, your hats, your hoodies, your sweats, your candles. Go get everything we got over there. You know what I mean? Go check us out. We got you. You know what I mean? Yo, Corey, I know
Yes, sir.
you just want to jump into it. You don't even want to know about the week. You know what I mean? You seem
You know what?
fired up. You know what I mean?
No. Let's go ahead and get the pleasantries out the way because I got something to say about my week and your week as well. So go ahead, big dog. I'm too fired up right now, so I'm
I
gonna
love it.
fall back and be the co-host. So you do your thing because I'm gonna be mad the whole show at any rate. So let's yeah
Hey
yeah.
man, I love it, man. My week was cool. You know what I mean? Just been you know what I mean, working on Filthy the web series season 2.
Word.
You know what I mean? Was with the homie Beast Johnson this weekend.
Okay. Shout out to Beast.
You know what I mean? Getting some footage in safely, of course. And
Yeah.
you know, just we did that. Been in the studio, man.
Word.
That's about how my week been. You know, doing homeschooling with the kids. That's
Yeah.
it, big
Uh,
dog.
that sounds like enough.
Yeah. It's plenty.
I
It's
can't even
definitely
imagine.
plenty.
I
Yeah,
cannot even imagine.
it's plenty, big dog. Trust me.
Man.
What's good with you though? Yeah, was the
Well,
week, man.
I was the last time we spoke, I was off all week, just doing a little staycation, man. Your boy was just tired, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, just went told you last week, got the booster, so that one took me down on the third go round, but
Yeah.
we bounced back and Big Vito Corleone, when I bounce back, and I ain't gonna skip topics, this is still me talking about how my week went. Of course, I don't really get to stay up and watch a lot of the Lakers games because they don't come on to like 3:30 in the morning, it seems like.
Yeah,
But
man.
I caught some preseason action last week, and it's kind of like the everything personally is fine, but sports week, man, is leaving a lot to be desired right now, Big V. I've been getting pushed towards the cliff with Wednesday's preseason game with the Lakers, Big V. I got pushed further to the cliff on Friday night, Big V, because we haven't won anything. It's preseason, and like I said, we're gonna stay on topic, but this is just accumulating to what my week been. And as of last night, I'm off the cliff. I'm free falling right now. I need everyone's help to give Corey a pick me up because I'm in a sunken place sports wise right now. Not in real life. My real life is great, but sports wise, I'm mad.
Hey man. Hey, well let's see if we can't get you, where we need to be at. You know what I mean? I'm kind of
Maybe
fine.
this will serve as a therapeutic session now that I can talk it out.
Hey man.
It's
Yo,
my therapy.
your boy is here with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm here with you. Let's talk about it. You know what I mean?
Speaking of therapy,
Ah man. Ladies and
woo,
gentlemen.
woo, woo, woo.
First of all, let's set it off, man. You know what I mean? For last night, for those that don't know, was the kickoff of the NBA season. We back, big dog.
Yes,
We
sir.
back, big dog. We back
Love
with
the
the NBA
NBA.
season.
Love
Absolutely.
the NBA.
If you don't know about this podcast, man, we real passionate about our NBA. We love all sports. You know what I mean?
No question.
We don't really cover the hockey. We hit the MLB here and there when need
Yeah,
to. Well, of course, we do the NFL, but the NBA is
man.
where we really thrive at as a podcast. You know
It's
what I
just the
mean?
best sport. It's like
Oh man.
America's #1 reality TV show. It's like you
Oh
can
man.
argue that the NBA offseason is damn near better than the regular season. That's why we love talking
Man.
about it so much.
You know, and I'm glad you mentioned. I'm so glad you mentioned. You know, reality TV
Yeah.
because that brings me to our first topic. Yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, Doc Rivers kicked Ben Simmons out of practice. Let's just jump right into that right there. You
Oh
know,
my God.
Corey, you know, I was homeschooling my kids and I walked into my room and the sports
Yeah.
center was on.
All right.
It was breaking news that Doc Rivers had kicked Ben Simmons out. I said, hold on.
What? What?
What the hell is going on? First off, you barely even hear about players getting kicked out of practice anymore. You know what I mean? Like this came across on some middle school type shit. I'm like, what? Hold on, man. What? So then, Corey, you know, it made me sit down and think about what we've talked about on this podcast about Ben Simmons. Corey, you know, the podcast before this one, we mentioned how he had came back. Um, you know, well, matter of fact, we didn't mention. I think around that time, we didn't talk about it, but
Yeah.
he had reported back to practice.
Right. Right.
Corey, when I saw that, I gotta tell you, I my first thoughts were this: oh shit, they are reconciling. This can be beautiful. I love it. He's got his head on straight and he's ready to
Yeah.
ball. Let's do it. Let's do it. He's locked in. They're gonna do it. Because keep in mind, they were one. And when I'm doing that, ladies and gentlemen who can't see me, I'm reenacting the Kawhi Leonard shot that went splash. You know what I mean? They were one away from doing what they needed to do in the playoffs. Right? Right. So I'm like, okay, him and Doc are back on the same page. He's focused now. They're putting that bullshit behind him.
That's right.
Corey, my other thought was this. What the fuck is he doing? Does he think that he is going to walk in this locker room and think everything was all good just a week ago?
Mm.
And guess what? My second thought prevailed. Corey, this is bad. This is bad, and I want to read to you why. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to read a quote from Shams, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Shams Sharania, who works for he's an ESPN source. I just leave it at that. He says sources say Doc Rivers asked Ben Simmons to join a defensive drill today. Simmons refused. Rivers asked again. Simmons said no again. Rivers then told Simmons he should go home, and Simmons dropped the ball and left. It's not over. I want to read to you all, everybody out there in the zone land, my zoners. I want to read to you all a quote, a direct quote from Ben Simmons, Corey.
My God.
And I quote, and this is per ESPN's Instagram. I just feel like this team just hasn't put me in the right position. Giannis just won Finals MVP without a jumper. I could produce at that level in a new environment that didn't cater to a guy like Joel so much.
Boy.
Pow, 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 pow. I gotta get us some sound effects. I'm gonna work on that this week. But for now,
I'm gonna hit you with the air horn.
yeah, and here's my gunshots. Pow, pow. Lord help them, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I mean by this is bad. First of all, it was already bad when he bought the $22 million crib out there in L.A. That was already bad. But it was bad before then. You know when it was bad? When he told them that he would not be returning. And you know what else it got bad before the $22 million crib? When he told the players that was going to come out there to see him, nah, don't even worry about flying out because I'm cool on y'all. And then the third straw was him buying the $22 million crib out there in LA. That shows y'all, if nothing else, he did not want to be in Philly. On top of that, I'm really like yo. Now that all this is playing out, I'm really confused on why the fuck he came back. Like yo, like if those were your thoughts that you said in that quote about how you can go in a new environment and get busy like Giannis and not have to worry about a team that's putting a team together around Joel Embiid. Yo, if those are your thoughts, why the fuck did you come back? First of all, second of all, yo, Ben, I want to tell you something, Ben. Don't you ever compare yourself to Giannis. He's better than you. Newsflash. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew that, but he's better than you. Sorry.
By far.
Without the chip, my nigga. I want to be clear. Without the chip, he's better than you. Sorry. I don't know if you knew that. Just want to tell you. Third of all, yo, I don't know if you know this, but Embiid is better than you. Newsflash. Don't know if you knew that Joel Embiid should have a team built around him, not you. Sorry. I don't know.
It was almost an MVP had he had played more games.
Talk about it.
That's the only reason.
Let's not talk about the phenomenal years that he's had since he came back from his injury. Like, come on, like, stop it. Let's not talk about the jumper that he has that you don't. Let's stop. I'm gonna stop right there since you want to critique Giannis' jumper and everything like that. Since you want to go down that route, my nigga. Sorry, the two people that you're talking about are better than you and should have teams built around them. You should have a team built around you, my nigga. Sorry, you're not. I'm sorry. I hate to say this, but yo, man, you just a polished version of Markelle Fultz. Sorry, somebody had to say it. You just a more polished version of Markelle Fultz. Markelle to have a jumper, neither does you. Markelle can pass, so can you. Markelle can get to the basket, so can you. The only difference is the height. The height. Like somebody has to say it. Sorry. And might I add, Markelle is now thriving down there in Orlando. Might I add. So I'm really confused at why you came back and why you were trying to throw the team under the bus for building around Joel. And now you got Joel Embiid in the press talking shit about you. Yo, Joel, I seen the clip of Joel. You know what he said? He said, yo, man, I really don't care nothing else about this guy. That's all.
Didn't even mention him by name.
No,
this guy. That's how you know it's real.
This guy. Dude, listen, man.
Wow.
Dude, it is over. I don't know who you're going to play for. Nobody's going to pick up those 4 years, $147 million contract or whatever it is that you have left on that contract with Philly. I don't know what Philly is going to do with you personally. I can tell you this though. The fans are not going to welcome you back. Some of the fans have gone on record anonymously and have already expressed their displeasure for you. Doc Rivers is a class act. If he asked you to leave practice, pretty sure it was for a good reason. I'm a back Doc on this. I'm going to back Doc. Dude, this is over. We talked about him maybe going down there in Minnesota doing something. I don't know. But dog, it is over for you in Philly. What are your thoughts on this situation, Corey?
My God, where do we start? All right. I'm going to add on to another point that you made. This is alleged, but it's coming from multiple sources that when he showed up to practice, the Philadelphia teammates rolled up on him to greet him. Like, hey, man, welcome back, regardless of what the situation is, and this, that, and the third. Rumor is, and this is just rumor and alleged, that all Ben Simmons did was hit them cats with a head nod. No speaking, no nothing, just a subtle head nod.
And ladies and gentlemen, for out there in the zone land, if you from the old school, like me and Corey are kind of from the old school, we 38 and 40 on this podcast. Like, yo,
Man,
when you hit a nigga with the head nod,
and that's supposed to
that
be a
that
man.
that mean I don't really fuck with you. I just want to be clear.
Yep.
For those of you that are like, oh, the head nod is all right. Nah,
Nah.
nah, nah,
You do that
nah.
with cats you either don't know like that or you ain't really comfortable like that. You trying to keep it G.
Yeah, you
But like
walk
if
up
I
in the
saw
spot, you know how it is. You walk up in the spot, man, and you don't really know niggas like that, and niggas looking at you looking at them. You like, yo, what up? I mean, all right, yeah, that's what that is. It's I see
and,
you, all right, whatever.
yeah, and it's very subtle to people you really don't know like that. But he knows these guys, or at least knows them well enough to give them more than a head nod.
These are his teammates, dog.
And so not only does he shows up to practice Big V, he shows up and he's basically in his warm-ups. The rest of the teammates, Big V, they're in their practice gear. I
Okay.
peeked it. You got the blue versus whites for Phillies. But he got on the jogging pants while the people in whites, because he was part of the white team, is wearing white shorts. Right? Peep that. Not only that, this man has a phone in his pocket. Now, I don't know what is and what is not allowed during practice, but I'm going to assume that cell phones in your pocket, which you're really even not supposed to have, because you're supposed to have practice basketball shorts, Big V, like what I got on. Because guess what? You're going to practice. Man, listen, a fight needs to occur, and I don't like to incite violence. I don't know, like the $64,000 question you ask is why is he here? My guess is because he don't want to keep getting fined. I would imagine that they're still like he's still going to get, a certain amount of guaranteed money, but I don't know how the fines and all that works with the contract and how much of it is voided, or if it's just straight up like, nah, you're still getting your contract money. Oh, but we're gonna fine you this. Like I think right now, like he's up to like 230 or 250, basically $250,000 is missed. But then again, if you're getting overpaid, like he is, what is 250 million? I want to play the blame game right now on everything that has occurred. And I'm gonna try my best to go in chronological order. Philadelphia 76ers. They are the number one people to blame. They are to blame because they gave this man this hellacious contract when he wasn't even shooting threes, right? And I get it. I do get it. It happens in the NFL with quarterbacks all the time where you kind of got to overpay, even if you're half a damn worth being good. I get that. I get that Ben Simmons don't grow on trees everywhere. Even back when he wasn't, having free throw issues or the mental block. That's not anything I ever want to joke about and stuff like that. I don't really recall Ben Simmons or Rich Paul really woofing about a contract at that time. I just don't. I don't remember it. If it did, I don't remember. I thought when that contract was signed, my wife and I, we had a healthy debate about this. And this is more so speaking of the generalities of really anybody in life. I can't remember which boxer said it, but it was like, man, it's hard to really get out of bed when you're sleeping on silk sheets. It's hard to sit up here and go to the sweat house when you got silk sheets and that nice cozy. Like it's just hard, right? And so my whole deal was if he had that jump shot, mid-range and or a three-pointer in addition to what he already has, then I would justify that contract. I really would. But he didn't. And you gave him that money knowing that this ain't about being good at a jump shot or a three-point shot. It's the fact of the lack of confidence that you're not going to even try. But yet you're going to sit up here and posterize me and everybody else doing these practice videos of you shooting threes. If you're not going to apply that into real game situations, I don't really care if I'm the owner. I don't care if I'm the GM. I don't care if I'm his teammate. So I thought that was mistake number one. And so the debate that my wife and I gotten into it about was, well, what is the incentive to get better? He's already maxed out at the biggest contract that he can get right now. What is the incentive to get better? Well, even at worst, I could coast and stay where I'm at now. I could sit up here and not shoot threes, still somewhat have a remote mid-range game, and just really thrive as a slasher. There's no incentive for him to get better because he has been paid or he is getting paid. That is an organizational failure. And I understand that when you're paying these contracts, Big V, that a sense of it is projecting out. I get it. That's how the game works or whatever. But the fact that this man already wasn't shooting threes, and everybody keeps telling me about, oh, well, he's a defensive presence. Yes, I agree. I never disagree with that. Okay. But he's a half and half guy. Because let me ask you this, man. I'm asking this sincerely. Let's go back to the heydays of your Patrick Beverleys and your Draymond Greens. Do you see them commanding a max contract just because they could strictly play defense? I
Well, let me. I'm gonna say this, right? You're right. No, not those guys. For me, I personally thought Ben Simmons was worth the money, bro. I'm not
really,
even gonna lie. I thought he was worth the money in this regard, right? Of course, he don't have a mid-range game. Sometime he definitely don't shoot the three. We get all that. I thought he made up for it with his intangible to pass. His
okay, a
passing
point guard
game,
standpoint, okay.
his passing game is great. Um, I will say he's very unselfish. He's a
Almost
guy
to
that
a fault.
what one might argue almost. But here's the thing, right? When you're playing with people like Joel Embiid and Tobias Harris, and at one point in time you had Jimmy Butler, it's almost like you have to be kind of overly unselfish, but you're still getting you. Then why all those people still getting him? You see what I'm saying? He was still putting up damn near double assists. So and again the defense was always there. He was first team, second team, whatever he was. And on top of that, he was scoring. I thought like to me, I thought he was worth the money. I personally thought, okay, this guy kind of is worth the money at this point in time. But then I thought like, well, if he's worth the money, what is Joel worth?
Right.
Like you can't like last week we talked about automatics max guys,
Yeah.
like no brainer max guys. That's Joel. For that for that
Yeah.
for that team, that's Joel. And if I gotta pay one, I'm paying Joel.
Yeah. I feel you, and I understand where you're coming from. I think, um, you know, Philly was to blame in that, but I digress. The second blame goes towards Ben Simmons. Now, we fast forward, and I said I'm gonna stay in chronological order here. You stunk it up in the playoffs. Pivotal game 7, wide open dunk that you did not take. Free throw shooting regress, regardless of what the issue is. All that stuff happens. So even then, you can argue that Doc Rivers really sparked it after that game, or whatnot. Emotions was raw and stuff like that. Some people, I blame Doc Rivers for acting like he ain't say what he said. That's my only thing. You ain't gonna sit up here and tell me you ain't say what you said when you said what you said. Like you said, you don't feel like him being a point guard could lead you to a championship. Paraphrasing, obviously, but that was what was said. So Doc, you're my guy, but miss me on that particular part there. But Ben Simmons, though, you screwed up, and you have to admit when you screwed up. We done talked about this in previous podcasts. I ain't gonna waste so much time on that. Even then, even with all of that, The team, certain members of the team wanted to fly out to your crib, and you like, nah, I'm good. My wife and I got into another heated debate about that specific situation because she was like, well, really don't want to waste a trip out there. He know what it is. She don't want he don't want Ben don't want them to waste their time. And my counter to that was, of course, Ben know what it is. Ben know why they're coming out there. My understanding, and you may can correct me if I'm wrong, those was teammates. I don't think a GM or owner or anything. They
Yeah,
had already tried that already,
yeah,
and
teammates.
it did. So here's my deal, and this is getting back into the relationship, if they're friends or not. I don't know how many was on the plane that are quote unquote friends versus just like, okay, I'm just here because management's telling me to come here. But here's my deal. Here's what I would have done if I was Ben Simmons on that, right? If these are, and this is why I did digress with my wife, where it's like, I don't know the relationship. I don't even know the people who was on the plane. I'm assuming that Joel Embiid was one of them, and of 4 or 5 others, assuming. So I will admit that. But I said, and this is where the conversation took a left turn. I said, if you're my guy, meaning that you're my friends who just so happens to be my teammate, and I'm still telling you no, don't come out, then dog, we ain't friends no more. Because I'm gonna tell you this. Here's what I would have done if I was Ben Simmons. I would have told them, like, look, man, my mind's pretty much made up on this Philly thing, right? Yeah, but man, Ben, man, the management sending us out here. Hey, dog, you can come out here if you want to. My mind ain't gonna change. We could sit up here. We talked about this already. I said you could come out here, man, if you want to. Man, we could sit back, kick it, play Madden, play 2K, go out to the club, hang out in LA or whatever. And if I'm his homeboy, I'm like, you know what, man? Forget it. I'll come out there, just a free trip on the company's dime. I will literally go back, and as soon as I touch down off the plane and I see Ben Simmons, be like, yo, man, look, man, we think you need that, da 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 da. The whole conversation could take literally 2 minutes, and Ben Simmons could reply and be like, nah, man, I'm cool. All right, well, since I'm out here, what else we getting into? That's what I would do for my friend. I would never tell a friend. And again, we don't know. I digress with you and everybody else, my wife included. We don't know the minutia of the relationships of those guys that was on the plane. I will say this much, and this is me assuming again. So I know we always got to be careful with that. If it wasn't the whole team and it was just those handful of guys out there, I would assume that they would be close enough to get on the plane and fly cross country. If I'm Daryl Morey, Doc Rivers, or whoever the owner is, I'm like, yo, who's in here closest to Ben Simmons? And this is us assuming. I got you. Okay, well, cool. I need y'all to go out there and talk to him. And me being Ben's boy, I could go out there and be like, hey, man, look, yo, Doc, yo, Daryl, yo, we tried. Even though it only took 30 seconds. I'm like, man, I'm just out here to kick it with my own boy. Because I care about my guy. Ain't seen my guy in a while. I haven't heard from my guy. The guy is not talking, but then you telling us, man, nah, don't come out there. All right, cool. I don't vented on that enough. And then we get to practice and you're hitting cats with the head nod.
Head nod.
So, with the head nod, bro. Like, I'm telling you, I would prefer violence in this scenario. Okay, if whatever love I have for you, you take that with you. Okay, I'm a strong athlete too, Mr. Simmons. Okay, and since it's about to go all the way back, then let it be known then. What Snoop said, let it be known. We know we East Coast. We know East Coast is in the
We know, we
motherfucking
know,
house.
we know East Coast in the motherfucking house.
We know we in the house.
We
So
know,
let
we
it
know
be known
what
then.
we know where we
We know
at.
where we at. Let it be known then if that's where we at. But that whole teetering is I'm telling you, is blames to go all the way around. And I'm gonna say blame number 3 is Daryl Morey. Um, I think he's a GM out there. And look, man, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Because the thing is that the asking price is too high, right? Um, the no one is going to pick up that contract currently as it stands right now. In
No.
addition to everything you got to give up, again, I seem to be the only person out here doing this. And maybe it's just due to my lack of ignorance of how a buyout works. I don't see how it works without a buyout. Philly is either going to have to lower what they want in return for Ben Simmons, or they're going to have to buy him out. And on top of that, if I was them right now, I would just pay you to just go away. Dog, you keep your salary. Just don't come around the team pulling this stuff. Just go away, man. Just go away. Because Big V, half of ESPN and half of Fox Sports is saying play him. I don't want to play him because of two things. One, I don't think it's going to help. People know what Ben Simmons is as it stands today at October the 20th. I don't think him getting out there and playing to the All-Star break or before trade deadline is really going to sway anybody, because that's still regular season. If anything, Cats would maybe want to see how you rehabilitated yourself during the playoffs, right? So I wouldn't do that, because I just don't think it would help his value, because Lord knows he's not helping his value. Okay. And then number two, man, if that dude mess around and get injured or blow out a knee or something like that, and you feel it, how the heck you gonna trade this guy, man? So I don't agree with, well, they still need to play him. I'm also going to add in number three, with everything that transpired. How do you play him at this point? They got a home game in Philly on Friday. Good luck.
You know, Corey, I'm glad you brought that
I'm
up
done.
too.
Go ahead.
I'm glad you brought that up, because you're right. I hadn't even thought about this, right? First of all, you're right. It's the organization fault. Who the fuck bought him back?
Right.
Who the fuck qualified that call? Like, you're right. It has to start in the organization. Like, yo, but now, how do you play that man? Being the fact that he's now created not only one distraction in practice, but now you in the media throwing people around, throwing people's names around, like Giannis, like Joel Embiid, and now you got Joel Embiid, who, you know, when he gets to run in his mouth, he don't stop. He don't stop. So now you got him in the media saying exactly what he feels, and you know he's going to say exactly what he feels. We know that about Joel. So now you have 3 distractions on your hand that you've caused in less than a week. I don't even know if you've been back in Philly a week. So now we got this home game coming up. Here it is, the beginning of the season. Cats are 0-0, 0-1, or 1-0.
Yeah.
And here you are creating 3 distractions. And it'll be a fourth if we were to play you, if you didn't get suspended at this Friday's home game. Because that crowd would have been another distraction. Every time you got the ball, Philly was sure to boo you. I don't give a fuck if you score, if you hit the winning basket in the overtime. I'm pretty sure, from what I'm hearing, Philly was getting ready to let your ass have it, dude.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah,
it's
man.
It's a mess, man.
We definitely gonna keep our eyes on this
situation.
No
question.
You know what I mean? Here in the zone land, you know what I mean? Because this is a shit show. This is the shit show. It was a shit show when whoever qualified. Soon as they qualified that call to bring him back, the shit show had already began. Matter of fact, this was late. The shit show was going on when he told Philly, "Hey, yo, I'm out." The shit show has been going on since he hadn't even been practicing in the preseason. The shit show was going on when he told the boys, "Nah, I'm cool. Don't need to come out here. I'm good." So yeah, this is just the tip of the shit show, Corey.
Hey man, Maya Angelou told me once, when people show you who they are, believe them. Ben Simmons is showing you like a mug right now.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So like we told y'all, man, last night was the beginning of the NBA season this past Tuesday. You know what I mean? October 19th. And you know, last night, our team, me and Corey team, the LA Lakers, they popped their season off last night against the Golden State Warriors, man. And we kicked the season off with a loss. I think the score was around 121 to 114, Corey.
That is correct.
Corey, I'm going to say a few things.
Go ahead, brother. This is what I'm mad about right here. I want to hear your thoughts. I really want to hear your thoughts.
You know. You know, Corey.
Yeah.
You know, with the Lakers, man, with us, it's always championship or bust. Always. You put that purple and gold on, we expect them to chip. You know, that's just what we do. We've built that pedigree since the '70s, and '80s, and the '90s, and everything else. That's always been the pedigree. And I mean, I'm just thinking about far as I can think. Pretty sure it might have dated back to way later. You know what I mean? Maybe the '60s or whatever. I'm not sure. You know what I mean? I know for sure, you know what I mean, with Magic Johnson and the boys, Kareem and the boys. Um, you know, that mentality, of course, Kobe, Shaq, that mentality was always championship or bust, right? I've been on record on this podcast saying that this is a championship year. Everybody want to call us old and you know, even my boy Killer, you know, he called us the AARP team and
Yeah,
everything
add me
like
to that
that.
list.
You
Add
know,
me to that. I did
I
that
know
too.
you do
I
that
jumped out
too.
there.
I know
Yeah,
you did. I know.
yeah,
I know. And I'm one of the guys that don't subscribe to that. I love the
yeah,
roster. I think we're the favorite to come out of the West.
yeah.
Everybody's picking us to come out of the West. We're the favorite. Corey, last night, my thoughts were taken aback.
Yeah.
Healthy roster. AD's healthy. Westbrook healthy. Carmelo's healthy. Rondo's healthy. Of course, King James is healthy. DeAndre Jordan is healthy. Dwight Howard's healthy. I don't want to panic just yet because it's the first game. But Corey, I ain't panicking because I want to panic because we didn't win a fucking game all preseason. Granted,
Mhm.
people set out. I get it. People not going
Yeah,
hard. I get it. I get it. But if we're putting things in perspective, right? We are 0-7.
yeah,
I think it was maybe six preseason games we played.
yeah. Six.
We didn't win a damn bit of them. Last night we popped the season off and we lost by 7 points. Great, and mind you, we were up. We were up.
Hmm.
I like the fact King James looked good. I like the fact AD looked good. I like the fact Westbrook, you know, he contributed. You know, he didn't have a game like those two did. He contributed. I like the fact that everybody Corey, I'll be honest, I like the fact that everybody looked good. I hate the fact that we lost.
Okay.
We lost in the Lakers in the I hate when we lose in the Lakers forum. I cannot stand it. I
Yeah.
cannot stand it, Corey. But I'm panicking because I hope that this isn't a sign, Corey. Because we are stacked. We have what it takes, I feel. We got Melo coming off the bench who's playing phenomenal. We have Braun doing what he does. Hell of a point guard around. I mean, like dog, we got basically our championship roster. We got Rondo, we got Dwight, you know what I mean? We got Braun, of course. We got AD.
Yeah.
We added on a few more pieces, of course. But last night was not structural at all. Like, dog, we have to get our chemistry down some more before we start talking this championship shit. Um, re- I'm gonna be honest. That's really the main thing for me. Is just the chemistry of everyone.
Yeah.
Um, I know Westbrook will be more involved. I like how I like how everybody played. I think everybody had a decent game. What we can't lose, we can't lose these home games. When we have Golden State against the ropes and have a lead on Golden State at home, we have to close these things out if we're trying to get chips. Um, Again, what has me worried the most is basically we're 0-7. If we just talking putting things in perspective, we're 0-7. And I get it. You know, like I said, I know Cats didn't play all the preseason games. I get all that, and I get
Yeah.
it's game 80. You know, game 82. You know, I mean game one of 82. I get that. I get that. I get that. But man, I don't know, Corey. I don't know. What are your thoughts, man?
Oh, buddy, buddy, buddy. I'm going to go in a different direction that you did. And basically, to you, it was about the win and the loss. And my deal, not really tripping about the loss as much as I am about the game flow.
Okay.
And you said the Lakers played good. I will concur with that, with the exception of one person. The one person who was just, to me, pathetic. He is the man that got my blood boiling last night, Big Vito Corleone. He is the man. I fell asleep at halftime. I woke up, checked highlights, and finished watching the game in its entirety this afternoon. The guy, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, air horn, whatever, Russell Westbrook.
I knew it. I knew you was gonna say it.
I thought this guy was ridiculously, horrendously, whatever type of bad adjective I could use, was pathetic. He was horrible. Okay? Now, let's put some things into perspective. Let's bring it back to the game. Big Vito, I do agree with you on this. You got to close out Golden State. We had them mofos all the way up going into the fourth quarter. And I don't feel like we played our best game and we was in there. I thought that LeBron James had a good night from three-point land. I thought in the fourth quarter, he pushed the 3 points way more than what I would have wanted him to do. But I get it. Older players, I can't expect for this man to drive the lane like he's 25 years old. Now, let's get back to your man. Your man, that's your man. That's your man. Russell effing Westbrook did not score his first points until almost 2 minutes ago in the second quarter, Big V. Did not do it. My man had a wide open duck, Big V. Ball slipped out of his hands. And he's looking at the ref. Hey, man, why don't you call that? Call what? Did Casper, the friendly ghost, make the ball slide out of your hands, Mr. Russell Westbrook? Did that happen? I don't think so. And I get it. Everybody does it. You know, you get nicked the wrong way. That you look up at the ref, and everybody got this dumbass look when they're looking at the monitors. This is me imitating for people on SoundCloud. This is the look that they get when looking up at the monitor. What you looking up at the monitor for? What are you a part of the play? You don't need to look at the monitor. I look at the monitor. You're the player. What the heck? Okay, I'm yelling. I'm sorry. I'm yelling. I need to get better about that. So, I had a few things going on. I want to say it might have been in the third quarter, half court break. LeBron tosses Russell the ball in fast transition, misses the layup. Did he get tapped in the back of the hand? That's arguable. Fine, I get it. I'm yelling again. I'll give you that. Let me tell you something, man. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it.
What you gonna say, man?
We should have gotten daggone Buddy Hield. But we're off that right now. We should have gotten Buddy Hield. This guy, Russell Westbrook, as Skip Bayless called him, 4 for 13, 0 for 4 for 3-point, a minus 23. A minus 23, Big V. That's your guy. That's your guy. That's your man. That is your guy. Okay? That's who we would show. We need shooters. Okay? Not only that, I blame LeBron James. I'm going to blame LeBron James. Okay? LeBron James wanted him to come there. And I don't know what was promised when he came there in regards to him starting, not starting, minute-wise, this, that, and the third. But we can't cry over spilled milk. The roster is here, and it's for the most part done. Let me tell you something, man. He's here. He's a Laker. God bless him. He needs to come off the bench. He needs to come off the bench. Yeah, I know. See, your ilk, people of Big V's ilk, people of your ilk sit up here and say he should be a starter. No, he should not be a starter. Absolutely no way of being a starter at all. Does not need a bid. Does not need a bid. Okay? Now, not only does he not need to be a starter, I am going to tell you why he does not need to be a starter, Big V. When he is in this current lineup that they had starting last night, Anthony Davis, LeBron James, Bazemore, and DeAndre Jordan, and then obviously Russell Westbrook. Look, man, LeBron James is a ball dominant guy. We know that coming in. This is the trick, right? Anthony Davis, I don't think he's a super ball dominant, but okay, fine. Let me tell you what your boy looks like out there with the starting lineup. He looks like a dog without a bone, okay? Russell Westbrook don't have that ball in his hand. He is completely useless in that starting lineup. He is no good in that starting lineup at all. He needs to come out here and command the second team. He would work. Okay, let me give you what I would prefer that the starting lineup be. I'm gonna tell you who it should be.
Please tell me.
I'm gonna tell you. It should be obviously Anthony Davis, LeBron James. I'm cool with Bazemore. Bazemore had some cool shots last night, or whatever. Plus 10 on the floor, right? With the center, and you could rotate out. I'm not. Some people was mad at Jordan getting start. It's either going to be him or Dwight Howard. You could really plug that in, or whatnot. I would like to see Davis, LeBron James, Bazemore. Again, I can leave with Jordan, and I would like to see Rondo starting. I would love to see Rondo starting. I really would. Or if you're not cool with Rondo, my boy just came back. Avery Bradley. He wasn't in the game that long. He only played 8 minutes. Let me tell you something, Big V. This dude was 2 from 3 last night, coming in cold off the bench.
He's a slept-on piece.
He came in late in the fourth quarter, Big V. Defensively, he was a beast. Look, man, I know that's your guy. That's your man. That's your boy. That's your boy. And I can't talk to you or any of you Westbrook Crusaders when y'all are in the, because see, that look that you gave me when I said he should come off the bench, it's funny. People gave Allen Iverson that same look. People gave Carmelo Anthony that same look. When it was all actuality true. And I'm going to say this. I'm gonna close off with this on my little diatribe of your boy, who just so happens to play for our team. Your boy. He need to do what's right. And what do you mean by that? What do I mean by that? I'm gonna tell you exactly what I mean by it, Big Vito Corleone, aka the Zone Land podcaster, guru, godfather. I'm gonna tell you what he needs to do, because Frank Vogel either ain't gonna do it or don't have the authority to do it. Because let me tell you something. If Frank Vogel comes up and say, hey, Westbrook, hey, man, check this out. Let me holler at you. Let me holler at you for a minute. So, look, this whole starting lineup thing, man, how would you feel about coming off the bench? Well. There's so many bad things that can happen when you even approach a player like that, because coming off the bench has a bad stigma, right? It has a horrible stigma to a star. I would even say a superstar. It has one, but everybody has a bridge that they have to cross eventually when you are not that guy anymore, or at least in this certain scenario of a situation. Okay, so Frank Vogel can't do it. You'll mess around and lose him. You already got King James saying, hey, man, just go home and watch a comedy after the loss. That's how bad it was. Just get your mind off of it, Russell. This is what King James is saying to Russell Westbrook. Hey, man, just go home and watch a comedy, man. Get your mind, man. It's all right, man. LeBron James said the man had jitters. It is possible. Is this me overreacting? You're damn right it's me overreacting because I look at game flow and I look at what's coming down the pipeline. See, you about the wins and losses. I'm about the game flow because if the game flow is taken care of, the wins will come. Now, he had a documentary that came out this past Friday. I watched it. It was all right. It was cool. You know, the replay value of it is low. It's cool. It's a cool story. I'm always a sucker for kids and their dads. So I give it. It was all right. It was. Did we need the documentary? Did we? Who asked for the documentary? I know who asked for the documentary. Big V. Or maybe y'all didn't. The Russell Westbrook basketball tribe asked for it. But wait a minute. I can't find it. Even y'all asked for it anywhere. What the hell? Let me tell you something, Big V. I'm yelling again. I'm sorry. After the Lakers game went off Friday night, preseason game, I'm just channel flipping. I come on Showtime. I'm like, okay, it's on. Let me watch it. And I watched it. It's all right. It's all right. It's cool. It's all right. I've seen more documentaries, more John Blaze than that. I got John Blaze shit. I see man. It ain't Kobe Bryant's The Muse. It ain't that. It ain't Michael Jordan The Last Dance. It ain't that, Big V. It's all right. It's all right. It's cool. It's all right. I see more John Blaze than that. I'm done. I can't because this conversation between you and I is getting ready to go nowhere. I know it. Go ahead and retort. You are the man of the show. I'm done yelling. I'm done. I feel so much better now. I got it out of my system. I feel.
Man. Corey. I'm so
yes,
glad.
Sir.
I'm so glad that you quoted the man rapper because you are the man Potter. That is what you are. You are the man Potter,
right.
dude.
You're right.
You are the man Potter. You know what? Yeah, because
I'll take that.
you are the man Potter, man. And your take on Westbrook couldn't be so far from off. It ain't even funny, man. Corey, you over here is talking about Westbrook should come off the bench to Rondo. You know what? I'm glad. I knew you was gonna come in here and talk shit about my guy, so I bought a little tidbit stat. You know what I mean?
God,
I knew you was gonna come in here.
Let me order a triple double stack from Wendy's after we through. I'm gonna get a triple double stack. Yeah.
You know, Corey, I'm glad you said that because this is the funny thing. I knew you was gonna come in here and talk shit about my guy, and I knew you thought I was gonna bring a triple double stat, but I'm not. That's the beauty of it. I'm not. I'm here to bring forth a stat because I knew you was gonna say Rondo should be in place of Westbrook, and I'm here to bet that your take couldn't be so far from off. I'm here to back it up, bro. I'm here to back it up. Listen, man. Did you know three out of the last 4 years? Did you know that Russell Westbrook has led the league in assists? I'm gonna just stop right there. I'm gonna just stop and ask you. Did you know the last 3 out of the 4 years, Russell Westbrook has led the NBA in assists? Hey, and the people in the zone, man, let me tell you why they're so significant, right? When you think assists, you think Jason Kidd. You think Mark Price. You think Kevin Johnson. You think of those guys like that. You damn sure don't think of Russell Westbrook. You know what I mean? You think Stockton to Malone, that type of ordeal. You know what I mean? Kobe to Shaq or what have you. You know what I mean? You think John Starks to Ewing, things of that nature. You don't think Russell Westbrook as an assist leader 3 out of the last 4 years. Everybody want to throw the triple-double stat around. And I keep telling people, listen, man, the biggest stat out of that triple-double is the assist, Corey. It is the assist. So you want Rondo, who hasn't led the league in anything in about 18 to 28 years, to now take the front seat and put Russell in the back? No,
Yes.
absolutely not.
Yes.
Absolutely. Listen, man.
Either him or Avery Bradley. I'm fine with either one. I can swap out either one of them.
Now you're being really disrespectful, and that's cool. I know how you give it up for Westbrook. I understand that. You know what I mean?
It's a minus 23, Big V. He's minus 23 with the starting lineup.
Listen,
how
man.
can you defend that?
Listen, I'm defending that because it is his first game. We don't need to jump. Listen, like I said, we need to get some structure. Okay, we need to get the chemistry down. We have time to do all. We have the time. I heard the practices have been intense, and he could have had the jitters. We don't know. If LeBron said it, cool. But I'm telling you, give this team time. We played well. We just took a loss. We can't. And again, listen. I am about the wins and losses. We can't lose. We can't lose that game at home. We can't do that. Like the Warriors are becoming one of our rivals.
Oh no, I believe that.
And it's not going to get any better come January, February when we have Klay Thompson coming back. We have to take that win while Klay Thompson is out to help us out.
I agree with that.
But
I agree with that.
And again, did Russell play the best game? No. Give my guy time. Give my guy time.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this before we wrap up on this topic. So me suggesting that Russell comes off the bench, that's far-fetched to you. I want this for the record. As of October, I'm just way left field. I'm ridiculous for even like.
With this lineup that we have, absolutely. With this core group of people that we have, absolutely. Rondo need to be coming off the bench, providing a spark with Melo like he's been doing. Absolutely. Absolutely. We need to be running and gunning like Russell Westbrook and King James King. We need to be running and gunning that thing. Absolutely.
I'm gonna tell you this. Only because this is our team, I don't want us to go on a losing streak. I want you to be right. I want to be clear. Grab my pen. I want you to be 110% correct on this move. Because if not, I'm right and you're wrong. But I don't want us to lose because we're in the West and we'll need to be getting behind on the games. That being said, I will say this in closing, that bad as Russell played and how we let them back in the game, getting outscored 38-29 in the fourth quarter, we had a chance in that game. I mean, yes. we really did. I'll give you that. But Westbrook, the bench, you're gonna be hollering at my man Stewie Griffin back there. He's on the bench. Okay, you're gonna be back there with Stewie Griffin, Westbrook.
No, we'll see.
I feel better now. I feel better.
We'll see. I think you're wrong, but we'll see, man. We'll see.
Yes,
we'll
sir.
see. You know, we won't see though. We won't see DeAndre Ayton getting this max deal.
Gosh.
That's what we won't see. Not this year. Not this year. Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, man.
You know, we discussed on the last podcast, if you've been tuning in or if you just now tuning in with us, last podcast, man, you know, we talked about how the negotiations between the Phoenix Suns and DeAndre Jordan were, you know, they were back and forth. DeAndre Ayton, sorry. They were back and forth. You know what I mean? Keep in mind, coming off this playoffs, and we keep hearing, you know, the likes of Chris Paul say, hey, that boy gonna get him a bag this summer. That boy gonna get him a bag this summer. Yeah. So, you know, this week, the talks have ceased. Ladies and gentlemen, the talks between the Phoenix Suns and DeAndre Ayton have ceased upon the max contract. Neither side could come to an agreement. The talks have now ceased. Quiet, finito, out of here, done. Corey, people out in the zone land.
Yeah.
I came on this podcast last week, and I said, you know, my first thoughts were, man, they need to pay this man. And I told you that my second and my commanding thoughts were, not so fast, my friend. No, he does not deserve a max deal. I'm sorry. Like I told you, you have some people that are no-brainer max deals. Certain people that don't even need to even be discussed or need to even have a meeting, like Devin Booker. Give that man the money. He got the bag. You know what I mean? Like my man out there in Utah, Spider.
Oh yeah.
Spider deserves the max deal. Pay the guy every penny. Pay that man. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, DeAndre Ayton. Yes, you had a great playoffs, but Corey, I want to bring up a point that you said last week. You got your ass handed to you by a bum knee Giannis.
Yeah.
A bum knee Giannis.
Yeah.
I also want to bring up something else. You also said on this podcast last week, Corey, that Phoenix is showing that they're not building around Ayton. This right here shows it. If nothing else showed it, this showed it. They're prepared to build around Booker. Sorry, Ayton. They're not prepared to give you the max and build around you with you averaging 15 points a game. Nope.
Yeah.
Not happening. It's not happening.
For a max for 15.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to explain something. When you're averaging 15 points a game, some nights that you might have 20, some nights you might have 25, some nights you might have 8 to 10. That's not cutting it at damn near 7 feet tall, starting center. And you coming in this office saying that you want the max. No. Not when Luka is dropping damn near 30 a game. Not when Trae Young is damn near 5'5", 110 pounds, and dropping damn near 30, 40 a game. No. Not when Joel Embiid, coming off his injuries, is damn near averaging 25 to 30 a game. Let alone check Embiid's assists. They're up.
Yeah.
They're up. Sorry. They're not going to pay you the max, DeAndre. And you know what, man? I'm here to say, like I said last week, he don't deserve it. And again, maybe you can ball out this season and maybe come back to the drawing board next season.
No question. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And bet on yourself or become a free agent or whatever you may have or whatever may be in the cards for you. But coming in here in this office, after we just came off that loss, and you got your ass busted by a bum knee Giannis, and you come in here talking about I want a max deal of $172 million for 5 years, averaging 15.6 points a game. Not at all, Corey. It's not happening. Nope.
You know, that's a tough ask, man, because, you know, when I think of max players, I think of how are they on their worst night? Like, you brought up Embiid, you brought up, you know, a lot of other, you can even go historically with your Shaqs and your Tim Duncans and whoever. And I don't have the numbers on all these guys in front of me. But you think of Kobe having a bad night, God rest his soul, you think of still 18, 19 points. That's him having a off night, right? Off night. You even think, let's bring it back more current. You think of Joel Embiid. His off night is maybe 18 or 19. That's a bad game for him. A bad game for Joel Embiid is like 17, 18 points,
10 rebounds,
10 rebounds, right? And that stat you said about Ayton averaging 15, that puts things in perspective. And I'm going to tell you what else puts a lot of other things in perspective. Because the Chris Paul effect, all right, fine. Let's go ahead and throw that out the window. Like, let's just throw that out. Let's talk about before CP3 even got in there. Booker was balling out of control. You knew it was just a matter of time. And I will say it did take Chris Paul getting there to kind of catapult it. But I'm just going off of raw numbers pre-CP3. And you saw something there. Like, I knew that if Phoenix did not lock up Booker, he was going to be on the free agent market for 3.5 nano microseconds.
Gone.
I'm going to be honest with you. You're an avid NBA watcher. I'm an avid NBA watcher. I mostly watch the Lakers. I don't keep up with everybody that much. But when I tell you that I really haven't heard of Ayton until really not this past season, but the season before, where he just kind of became a blip on the radar, I totally have forgotten that he was the number one overall pick a few years ago. I get it. You can't really help where you drafted at, but heavy is the head that wears the crown. You drafted number one. There's certain expectations that we're going to expect out of you, or whatnot. I remember booking in college. Now I want to put everything on college because some players are stifled by the offense of the program that they respectively choose to run. But when I tell you again, I haven't heard of Ayton until like the season before last, even on a remote level. And then it's like I really didn't start paying attention. I did not even have a man crush on DeAndre Ayton until this past season. So I say all that to say this. You're talking about the max off of one good season. I can't. I can't. Like you talked about earlier with Ben Simmons deserving the max. And even though while I disagree, I could see how someone out there could say, hey, based off potential of what we could hopefully get out of him, because he's there. Like somebody said the other day, like he's damn near a jump shot away from being a modern day version of Magic Johnson, or
Yes.
even being compared to the
Yes.
top tier player of your Steph Curry, your LeBron James. Like he's a jump shot away
Yes.
from that. When Ben Simmons, that's what cats kept talking about. The only thing that guy's missing is a jump shot. Well, with DeAndre Ayton, you got to compare him into big man terms. And when I tell you that I don't really see Shaq-like qualities in him consistently, I don't. I saw the Shaq-like qualities from when they kicked out High Parts in the first round, the second round, right? And then going in, and then even going into the finals. But then when the finals hit, man, that like when I think of greats, I don't think of Shaq freezing up or letting somebody else have his way on one leg. Shaq would dominate and impose his will. Oh, that's a max player.
And in fairness to Shaq, when it did happen, he was going up against a healthy Olajuwon. And we
No,
and we
oh,
and
no
we and we all know that's a tall task in itself. That's all. That's all.
And you know what? And that Olajuwon team, you talking about with Houston, right?
Absolutely.
That was a stacked roster.
Yeah.
Now we shitted on the Milwaukee Bucks throughout the playoffs. And while I am glad that they won, like the ring ceremony and all that was dope, and I'm not going to even say that they can't be in the running and they can't do it again, because I think it's highly possible. But that team and the Houston squad are two totally different squads. The Houston that you're talking about with Olajuwon, that dude, listen, you got on the Milwaukee team, Giannis on one leg, right? You got Drew, right? And you got Middleton, and you got one of my favorite guys in the NBA right now, the dog, Bobby Portis.
Portis.
Dog, that ain't the Houston that Shaq went up against.
No, that ain't. Yeah,
I think you're 100% correct. He needs to, I don't know who ended the talks. I heard it was him or his camp. I'm hearing that it's Phoenix. I don't know. It really doesn't matter. Tomato, tomato. He needs to use this year as a proving ground. Because I will say this. I think had they had won the championship, even if he still had the same type of game that he had going up against Giannis, I still don't think he would have gotten the max. Even if they had won. Now, you can argue when people win championships, that's when the money, that's when the team gets broken up. But I think even if Phoenix had won, I still don't think Phoenix would have gave this guy the max on that. I just don't.
Me either.
I just don't.
No.
I don't, man.
I think they paid the right people.
Yeah.
They paid the right people.
Yeah, and look, if Ayton hits the market, he won't be on the market too much longer. But no. I don't think nobody's gonna give him a max. If it is, it's gonna be a small market team, Charlotte, Sacramento. I don't know what their caps are looking like, but it ain't gonna be for no perennial powerhouse like Phoenix is.
I want to get your thoughts on something, Corey. Let me make sure I have this correct though, because this was interesting to me when I read this. Um, um, let me see. Let me try to pull it up on my phone. Basically, Kendrick Perkins had some things to say about CP3 and about Ayton and the big
Okay.
bag this season. Um, and I quote, he said, the headline, and this is from fadeawayworld.net. It said Kendrick Perkins calls out Chris Paul for saying he would help DeAndre Ayton get a bag this season. And
Yeah.
he quoted, this is a quote from Kendrick. I guess CP3 meant to get himself the bag. I just want
Because
to,
he could have taken a pay cut if he wanted him to have more money. He didn't do that.
you know,
Uh,
and
uh,
I want to quote Kendrick Perkins on his Twitter. He said,
oh boy.
I thought CP3 was supposed to get Ayton his bag. I guess CP3 meant to get himself that bag. Don't mind me and carry on." Um,
Carry on.
you know, I want to know is Kendrick right? Just on his comments. I personally don't think that he's right. I never heard. I'm not tied into the NBA locker rooms and things. I just saw what was said
Yeah.
on TV when CP3 did say, "Yo, DeAndre, that boy, he gonna get him a bag. He gonna get him a bag this summer. He gonna get him a bag." I never saw him say, "Yo, I'm gonna help DeAndre get him a bag this
Yeah.
summer." I didn't see that. You know what I mean? So I don't think that Kendrick is right on that aspect. Now, if Kendrick, who's an NBA insider, if he knows
Yeah.
something that I don't, and he's commenting on something that he knows that we don't, that's a whole
Yeah.
nother different story. But from where I sit, I didn't see that. I didn't hear that either.
Oh man, salute to my man Perk. He is
I love
definitely the
Perk.
entertainer
I
of
love Perk.
the NBA. He's an acquired taste. It took me a while to
I,
get used to him, but
I,
I like Perk.
he keep it G a little bit. He keep it G
Yeah,
a little
yeah, he
bit.
does.
You know what I mean?
No, I'm in lines of what you said. I don't recall hearing Chris Paul say that I'm going to help him get the bag. I thought he was just speaking generally. I know the comment that we're referring to. And like you said, unless KP got some deeper knowledge that obviously we wouldn't dare
Right.
have access to.
Right.
I don't recall hearing CP say, "Hey, I'm going to help DeAndre Ayton get the bag."
I
I
didn't hear
thought
that.
when he made that statement, he was like, "Oh no, he's going to get the bag." Now he didn't necessarily say how, whatever. And if we're really going to be technical, he didn't necessarily say we're going to get the bag here. He could get the bag. Again, like I said last podcast, they only got 15 million in the cap for this year, or whatnot. So, you know, I don't think CP said I'm going to get it, but
Nah.
Perk is kind of like the basketball versions of Pimp C, where the pimp is going to speak his mind. Don't let things like logistics and facts get in the way of a good tweet. Pimp C. You got to let Pimp C run. He's the OG. He got that respect. Kendrick Perkins is the same way. He's the Pimp C of NBA talk, and former athletes. He's got to let Perk speak his mind. I don't recall hearing that, but Perk, hey, I'm definitely willing to be stood correct. If anybody out there in Zone Land could send us a clip or post it in the chat box when we premiere, please let me know. I would love to see it, but I don't remember hearing that CP said that he's going to assist that he gets the bag. I don't remember that. But salute the Perk.
Yo, hey man, salute to Kendrick Perkins, man. Listen, man, salute to CP3 on getting his bag, and man,
Yeah.
salute to DeAndre on potentially maybe getting his bag
Hey,
next
good
time
luck, man.
around. Good luck, man.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Man, we appreciate everybody tuning in to the show, of course, man. You know what I mean? We on episode 26. Me personally, I can't even believe it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
man. We
We on
rocking and rolling, baby.
we rocking and rolling, baby. You know what I mean? I appreciate everybody, you know what I mean, that call, text, comment, the feedback, man. We appreciate everything. Even if you disagree, we appreciate everything, man. We appreciate y'all tuning in on SoundCloud, you know what I mean, and on
Yeah.
YouTube. You know what I mean? Everybody out in the zone land, we appreciate y'all so much. You know what I mean? Keep tapping in with us, Corey. You know what I mean? And before we get up out of here, I gotta remind people, and I definitely want to remind. I might not even gotta remind Corey because I know he's sharp, and I know him. I know my
All right.
guy.
I'm scared now.
It's gonna be a heated podcast next week.
Okay.
Because, ladies and gentlemen out here in the zone land, this coming Monday night, the 49ers face off against the Colts.
Oh yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. Everybody, the Colts is my squad, of course, if you tapped in. The 49ers is Corey's squad. It's gonna be a heated podcast next week, big dog. It's gonna be heated. It's gonna be super heat, boy. I promise you, man. It's gonna be a crazy game. Both teams coming in with a crazy quarterback situation. Both teams coming off with a crazy kicker situation. This is gonna be an instant classic. I feel it. Either way,
I think the game is gonna be so bad. It's gonna be so good.
Oh my goodness, man! I cannot wait Monday night to be texting you back and forth.
Yes, sir. I'm staying up. I'm watching that whole entire. I'm just gonna take the L on Tuesday. I'm watching that. Big dog.
I won't miss a drop of that game. I will watch it to the last whistle blows, ladies and gentlemen.
Is it a Sunday? Is it a Sunday or a Monday night?
I think it's a Monday night game. I think it's Monday Night Football, man. If I'm not mistaken.
I'm gonna pull it up real quick. I know we got to wrap. Okay, you pull it up right now because I thought it was Sunday. It is Sunday. It's Sunday.
Sorry.
Sunday 8:20.
My goodness.
But either way, we go.
Boy, man, listen. Listen, man. That it is gonna make for a great pod. I am ready for Sunday. You know what I mean? I'm ready because my team barely makes the Monday night games or the prime time games. I barely get to see the Colts come on TV. So I'm extra hyped that we got the night game against y'all. I cannot wait to be texting you about this, man. This is going to be good. This is going to be good.
Real quick, I tell you, normally with Sunday night games and really Sunday is kind of like the creme de la creme. It used to be Monday night games back in the day. But kind of the NBC is kind of taking over like that creme de la creme game. And normally have like an A side and a B side of like, okay, who are we really watching? Right. I can't really call it because you could argue that you want to see Carson Wentz with Frank Wright or whatever, and then you kind of want to see either Jimmy G or Trey Lance. I'm like, I don't know who the A side on there. It doesn't matter, but it's gonna be good. I'm gonna be here for it. I'm gonna be here for all of it.
Make sure y'all tune in, man. Make sure y'all watching that for me and Corey's sake, so y'all can know y'all can know the vibe of the podcast next week. You know what I mean? When y'all tap into that game.
Absolutely. And I'm gonna give a quick shout out before we wrap. Salute to the WNBA Chicago Sky with Candace Parker.
Absolutely.
And my homegirl Copper for winning that MVP. They took down my Phoenix Mercury with Taurasi and Diggins Smith. They took them down. But let me tell you this right now, man. This is my first year watching the WNBA in this.
Oh my God.
I've been missing out on so much. I'm this far away from claiming the Phoenix as my squad. I really like these. There's really some good squads all over the place. Chicago Sky with Candace Parker coming down from LA Sparks and winning one from her hometown of Chicago. And I ain't gonna front. I was rooting for my girls with Brittany Griner. They got a elephant squad down there.
Yes.
And it broke my heart because I was like, guys, I didn't know I was a Phoenix Mercury fan. But I'm thinking, I'll tell you what, I'm leaning towards becoming a fan. I love these girls. These are probably like my favorite girls out of the bunch. From a team standpoint, the roster is crazy. Shout out to my homegirl Sophie Cunningham who lights it up coming off the bench. I know we got to go, but shout out to the WNBA. I love it.
Absolutely.
There's some balls down there, and I'm sorry for being late to the party.
Yo, the WNBA is phenomenal. Shout out to everybody in WNBA. Shout out to Skylar Diggins Smith, Taurasi. You know what I mean? Yo, Brittany Griner, man. It's a whole lot. Sir. Man, listen, Candace Parker, man. It's a lot of girls.
Man.
The girls, I can't pronounce the names the twins that be hosting on ESPN.
Right. Yeah, you got Shanae and Hey, man. Zoneland, do yourselves a favor. And we need to get better, not us, but the program needs to get better because they had the finals game on during Sunday, buried at 3 o'clock during NFL Sunday. Y'all
Yeah.
got to schedule this stuff a little bit better, man.
Yeah.
The WNBA has a great quality product out there. The
Absolutely.
majority of the games are extremely close to one another in scoring and coming down to the end. The format is short. It's only like 8 minutes a quarter. I mean, it's man. I've been late, but man, if y'all have not checked out a WNBA game, man, just check it out, especially during the summertime. This is the perfect time to check it out.
And next year we're gonna do a better job of covering the WNBA as well. We're gonna do a better job of that.
It's some balls. Them ladies, man, they're tough. They're tough.
I've been watching it since my daughter played basketball in high school, man, and she was putting me on all kind of women that I weren't familiar with, to the point that I started watching more women's college basketball, man.
Yep. This was my first year. We told it in the earlier podcast.
Yeah.
I was late to that party too.
Yeah, man, it's phenomenal, man. I promise you, yo. Shout out to all the women that are in the WNBA.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Shout out to Candace Parker for bringing that thing home to Chicago.
Yes, sir.
And man, just salute to everybody out there in podcast world trying to do this thing, and everybody else in the world is trying to do their thing, man. Keep pushing, man. Keep pushing.
Yes,
and keep doing it, man. You know what I mean? That's it. You got to put the work in.
Yes, sir.
Got to put the work in. Corey, man, I appreciate you, man. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be hitting you up for show on Sunday night so we can talk our shit. How we be talking our shit, you know what
I'll be here.
You already know what it is, man. Until then, my guy, you be safe out here. Stay COVID and sucker free, my nigga.
Yes, sir. Peace out, my brother.
Peace, bro.